You know, I tend not to rant to the camera too often because I don't feel like I can really add anything. But my goodness, our media sucks. It just sucks. Even our comedian media is lacking here. Bill Maher seems to be the only person who actually can tell you, hey, everything's moving in a certain direction. And if you were center in 95, you are now a super commie socialist liberal. But you haven't moved. The healthcare law is a perfect example of this, and nobody's bringing it up. I'll make a little graphic. Here, I'll put it right here. Here is what the scale looked like, the left-right spectrum scale looked like in the early to mid-90s when President Clinton was elected. He came out with a universal healthcare plan that was actually center-left. It wasn't a complete takeover, but it was universal. The Republicans responded with, we want everybody to get covered, but why don't we just make it an insurance mandate? Make everybody buy private insurance. That was their idea. Make them have responsibility. Instead of going to an emergency room and just getting free care, we'll make them buy insurance. All of it got thrown out, none of it happened. Hillary Clinton, learning the mistakes of what happened when she tried to help her husband get universal health care passed, she started where the Republicans left off and said, this is kind of how you have to do it. Make everyone buy health insurance. Obama's like, I don't like that idea. I would rather do it this way. So when he got into office, he tried to do it this way, with a public option, doing all that stuff. He found out he couldn't do it. Because of the election of Scott Brown, they didn't have the 60 votes they needed, so in order to get some Republicans, he had to compromise. And the compromise was the Republicans' idea of making people buy health insurance. That was the compromise. That's what eventually went through. It kind of pissed off everybody for some reason. I understand why the liberals would be pissed off with Obamacare, because it doesn't do as much as it should do. But hey, Obama was able to get pre-existing conditions knocked off. All sorts of great things were in return for this compromise of the Republicans. But the second it passed, the Republicans said it was socialism and it was the worst thing that ever happened. What they did was they moved the entire debate, the entire spectrum, way over. So now, what was once a right-leaning idea is a left-leaning idea. I'm not making this up. It's really clear. You can look it up, you can Google it, you can YouTube it. We are moving way over. I've always been center-right. Most of my beliefs are somewhat hands-off government, somewhat libertarian. Until the libertarians turned into complete freaking whack jobs, and the Republicans followed suit. Republicans are bigger government than any of them. Take social issues, take women's issues. We're talking about birth control in 2012. Birth control. We cheer that Obamacare was upheld. Yay, win one for the liberal. What? Really? You just won one for the Republicans. People think Obamacare is liberal. They think it's a fucking government takeover. They actually think that. Where's the media? Where's somebody bringing this up? Please, will somebody explain what's going on? And to all the people that are like, oh, they're all the same. Oh, God, he takes all this corporate money, Obama's corporate blah, 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 blah. Listen, corporations throw money at everybody so they get better favor down the road. We've made this system where a president has to have $1 billion to get elected. We allowed that to happen. So don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't be angry that he has a super PAC. It's legal now. That's the game. If you're an NBA purist, you were probably pissed off they put the three-point line in. Were you pissed off when your team started shooting three-pointers? Nope, that's the game. They have to shoot three-pointers now. But back to all the idiots saying it's all the same. One guy stood up in his State of the Union address and said, hey, this Citizens United thing is crazy, and it's set us back eons, and it's a huge fiasco. The other side didn't say shit. And if you do think they're all corporate, then look at the other things. If your pet agenda is money and getting money out of politics, and since there is money in politics, you just want to get out of politics, think about the other stuff. While you're sitting there bitching and saying they're all the same, which the Republicans love for you to say, they love for you to think that it's equal. Because while you're bitching that it's equal, while you're bitching that they're all the same, they're changing all the laws on the state level. They're making it illegal for you to choose. They're making it illegal for you to have birth control. It's great. Birth control is really smart for insurance companies to provide in their healthcare packages. You know why? It saves them money. And these religious right-wingers that say, if I'm going to give my employees healthcare, I don't want to have to pay for those birth control pills. Really? So you want to pay more for the pregnancy? I mean, when Bush was in office, I bitched about war because they were killing people. Now Obama's in office and people are bitching about health insurance. Helping people. Because you just so adamantly believe in not helping people. I adamantly believed in not killing people. You adamantly believe in not helping people. While you're sitting there bitching and saying they're all the same, they're teaching creationism in school as scientific theory. We're going backwards. Trust me, the Democratic Party has several issues. More than enough. But there is no other choice right now. The best thing you can do is get that party in there and start reforming from within. When did the best welfare reform ever happen? For all those who hate those freeloaders. The best welfare reform happened when Clinton was in office. Republicans want to eliminate all of it. Democrats realize it has a place in our system, a bottom safety net. And you can only be on welfare for 5 years total in your entire life. Why am I the person saying this? Why don't we hear this on the freaking television? Why? This video is going to get like 100 views. Even if it got 1,000 views. Even if it got 1,000,000 views. I had 3 million views when I was on CBS as the Prancing Egos. 3 million views a day. Yet, what I'm saying, nobody's going to see. And this doesn't make me a Democrat. I like Obama because he's intelligent. He makes sense. I love his story. I love that his name's Barack Hussein Osama and he was still able to become president. That's crazy. That makes me think I could do anything. That is completely separate of politics. The story's amazing. But I, honest to goodness, am pretty conservative. I think government should step back a little bit on a whole host of areas. But the truth is, both sides of the party spend all your money. One chooses to spend it to help corporations and to kill people. The other side chooses to help the people. I know several people feel they shouldn't do any of it, and that's fine. But if you have to pick between one or the other, what are you going to pick? The corporations are doing okay. The people aren't doing so fine. Oh well. How many fuel points did that rant get me? Ooh, like 100.